Hello guys and welcome back to my channel once again. Today we are going to discuss about Buling, the new 4-star character coming in Wuthering Waves. She is a she is a Electro rectifier character. So what are the possible teammates that she's gonna have? What are the possible weapons she's gonna have? And what can her kid do? We'll discuss in this video, speculate some and theory craft some of her kids and details. So let us start the video. First thing first, we all expected that with her outfit design and the color palette that she's going to be a either a spectro frazzle character or an glacio character just by the looks of it because she just has glimmers in her eyes and also the hair is blue, so we expected it to be glacio or spectro frazzle support, but she turned out to be an electro unit with a rectifier weapon. So, what could her kit's potential be? In my opinion, there's not much thing to cover as a electro support because if you look at the current meta, Yilin, Yinlin, the resonance liberation damage buffer, isn't doing very well in the meta. That means that she's not very good at supporting the units that she's meant for because Shangliao isn't performing well in the meta and it's just because of Yinlin. So who knows if Kuro gives her a kit that is similar to Yinlin and buffs resonance liberation damage and she may become a cheap Zangliao support. So that is one possibility. The second is basic attack damage dealer. The next thing Buling could do is support for Electro Flare, one of the negative statuses in Wuthering Waves, which, while Electro Flare is active, it weakens the target's attack with more stacks, further reducing their strength. It means it debuffs or applies a debuff to the enemy, weakening their attack. Also, only certain electro attacks will inflict stackable electro flare on enemies. So it is stackable, but certain electro attacks can only inflict stackable effects. So bullying, just like I mentioned in my previous video about Chisa, that Chisa is gonna be a sub DPS for the next Havoc main DPS character. So bullying may be just a support for the next Electro Flare main DPS character because in 2.x version, kurogames didn't introduce many more negative statuses. They only introduced spectrofrazzle and aero erosion. So I guess that in the next 3.x patches, they might introduce or they are going to introduce what Havoc Bane and Electro Flare. So she could maybe a support for a Electro Flare main DPS character, which is, you know, very reasonable because we may see a negative status meta in the next update because they didn't went through it very well in the previous 2.x patches. They only introduced two and that's it. So 3.x may be about negative statuses only. We don't know about it much, but we could speculate that she could support a Electroflare main DPS. With that out of the way, now let's talk about her weapon options. So first is as simple as that the standard rectifier, Cosmic Ripples. It is a stat stick. It provides attack as its main stack with 54% attack. Also, it has a lower attack base value It gives energy reason, and hitting a target with basic attack increases basic attack damage bonus, stacking up to following times. So this is a very, self buffing type of weapon which gives energy reason and also basic attack damage bonus. So if she deals basic attack damage bonus, we can see its use on her. The next is Lithian Elegy. I don't think so that this will be her very optimal weapon because it gives resonance skill damage after dealing echo skill damage. I don't think so that she will be a echo skill damage character. That is not very possible in my opinion. So this is not that good of a weapon for her. Next, Luminescent. This is just out of the way. I don't think that she's a Spectrofrazzle character because she's said to be an Electro rectifier character. So she has nothing to do with the Spectrofrazzle. So this weapon is also out of the way. Rhyme Draped Sprout might be useful if she has coordinated attacks in her kit and deals basic attack damage. She may get a buff from this one, but it is very unlikely that she is going to have coordinated attacks in her kit. So not a very viable option too. Next, Stellar Symphony. This, guys, could be a very well weapon for her because if she turns out to be a third slot teammate or heck even the second slot teammate, shorten her she could use this weapon to shorten her rotation timing. It gives HP percentage and also restores concerto energy, which will help with her rotation timing. This can be triggered one time within the 20-second cooldown. Resonance skill that heals nearby enemy party members attack by 14%. So this also gives 14% attack buff to the next party member or when the resonance skill heals the party member. So it gives a 14% attack buff to them. I guess this will be a very good option for her if she is a third slot teammate. Even if she has a second slot teammate, it doesn't matter. Help it will help her and her team out. So it could be a weapon, but in my opinion, guys, this weapon is not worth it in general. This is not a very good weapon. If you plan on getting this for showkeeper, then you might as well use it on her. But I don't think so that this is a very valuable weapon. This is just a waste of airstrikes. It is not as good as the next weapon that we will be going to see for supports. Next up is String Master. This is a very DPS oriented or sub DPS oriented weapon. If she deals damage, then this will be good for her. But if she doesn't deal that much damage and is just like Sanwa, which comes in and goes out after her rotation, then this is not very good option for her. Another is Whispers of Siren. This also is not anywhere close to her kit in my opinion because this gives buff based on echo skill damage. So I don't think she will deal echo skill damage. So this is out of the equation. Next it is Augment. It is a BP weapon if I remember correctly. It gives attack buff to the caster when casting Resonance Liberation damage. So when casting Resonance Liberation, not damage, it gives 15% attack. So this is a self buffing type of weapon. It also gives crit rate as a spin stat. This could be a good weapon for her, but not very good for just buffing the next character, which she will need to do. In my opinion, buffing herself is not very good. Call of the Abyss, this is the same. It gives healing bonus instead of attack when casting Resonance Liberation. This could be useful if she heals, if her kit heals, but I don't see it as a very good weapon for her. Next, Comet Flare, it also gives healing bonus based on what you deal the damage with, basic attack damage or heavy attack damage. This is say the same as the previous weapon, but it gives stacks based on dealing damage. So this also is not good for her. Next is fusion accretion. It gives 6 resonance energy and attack of 10% after casting resonance skill. So this could be a good weapon for her if she has very high energy requirements, and also it gives attack percent, so she could buff herself. It also has attack main stat. I don't think this will also be a good weapon for her, but this might be very usable. Next, Jinjo Keeper. When interest skill is released, increase the caster's attack by 8%, HP by 10%. This is also a self-supporting weapon, which is not very good for you know, a character who supports. If she doesn't deal damage, these are not worth it. So you see the track here, she, I think in my assumptions that she will not deal that much damage, but she might just support, come in, go out, and give buffs to the next character. So self buffing is not a very viable option in my opinion. Next, this ocean gives, it gives a spectrophrasal increase, which is out of the equation. Next is the new BP weapon, Radiant Dawn. It gives attack percent and 9% basic attack. It also is out of the equation, also, and gives crit damage bonus. These are not very good options. Rectifier 25 is not very good because it has a condition applied on it that resonator need to have HP below 60% to recover the HP by 5%, and if their HP is in above 60%, it gives attack buff. So it is not a very good weapon because it has conditions applied. Even if the conditions are applied, the buffs aren't that good. It's self-supporting buff. But if she has higher ER requirements, then you might as well use it for energy regen that it provides of 51.8%. So this could be an option that you can use if you don't have any other options. Next is a very good option for these types of characters, that is variation. It says that when resonance skill is released, restore concerto energy by 8. What it essentially does is that when you press the resonance skill, you get 8 concerto energy. And on refinements, it also gets doubled like 16 concerto energy. So if she is a concerto energy type of character like Sanwa, which comes in, goes out, then she might very well use this weapon because it is very good for such characters just like Swordkeeper, Verena, and Shanwa. Not Sanwa. Sorry guys, that is not Sanwa. But I was just trying to give the example of Sanwa, just like that. When where we use Sanwa's sword, which is, I don't remember the name of it, but it also gives concerto energy. So similar to that, variation also gives concerto energy, and it has energy regen as main stat. So for her ER requirements, this could very well fulfill her requirements. Let's not discuss the other weapons because this last 4 star is uh, uh, assigned to negative statuses because assigned to negative statuses. So if my theory of electro flare is correct, then this might be very well option for her, but it's just for a self buffing. The self buffing is not good for such type of characters which don't deal damage. So even if she has negative statuses in her kit, this will not be a very good option because it gives self buff, and we should we should not discuss the other weapons because they are 3 star weapons and they are not that very good. So so with all of that with all of that out of the way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about her. What could be her kit? Do you believe in my theory of she being an electroflare support, and could she be a main DPS? answer your comments down below. Thank you for watching the video.